If you're within 5 years of retirement, this is one of the most important windows of your financial life. These years are packed with potential, but also pitfalls. Small missteps now can turn into big regrets later. So let's walk through the biggest mistakes that people make the 5 years before retirement and what you can do to avoid them. Before we jump in, my name is Kurt. I'm a certified financial planner, and welcome to the channel where we explore money and meaning. So first up, one of the most common missteps is not having a clear income plan. Most of us spend decades focusing on saving, socking away money in 401ks, IRAs, investment accounts. But when it comes time to retire, the game changes. You need to shift from accumulation to distribution. Now, that means figuring out how you're going to turn your nest egg into a dependable paycheck that lasts the rest of your life. Without a strategy, you might withdraw too much too soon or play it too safe and miss out on the retirement lifestyle you've worked so hard for. So what's the fix? You have to build a retirement income plan that outlines where your money will come from each year, how Social Security fits in it, and how to minimize your taxes along the way to make sure that your money lasts as long as you do. Mistake number 2 is underestimating healthcare costs. A lot of folks assume Medicare will cover everything once they hit 65, but unfortunately, that's not the case. Medicare has premiums, deductibles, and it doesn't cover things like dental, vision, or long-term care. And if you retire before age 65, well, you're going to need some private insurance to cover those in-between years, and that can get pricey really fast. Fidelity did a study a couple of years ago, and they found that the average couple estimates their healthcare cost in retirement to be about $41,000. But the reality is that same 65-year-old couple today may need around $315,000 just for healthcare expenses throughout retirement. So that number surprises a lot of people. So it's important to include healthcare in your retirement budget and then explore tools like HSAs, if you're available, and long-term care insurance that can help protect your assets down the road. Number 3, here's another important decision that I see trips people up. You take your Social Security too early. Now, sure, you can start collecting Social Security at 62, but doing that comes with a permanent reduction in your monthly benefit. The math works out to be about 30% less than you would receive at your full retirement age. But if you delay till 70, you'll get an even higher benefit, around 24% higher, than your FRA amount thanks to delayed retirement credits. So let's look at a quick example. If your Social Security benefit at FRA is $3,000 a month, if you were to start taking your benefit at age 62, it would reduce your benefit to $2,100 a month. However, if you're able to wait until 70 by funding your retirement through other accounts, your benefit would grow to $3,720 a month. That's a meaningful difference. For many people, especially with longevity in their genes, or people that would rely on a survivor benefits, this can mean tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars more in your lifetime. So Social Security should not be a one-size-fits-all decision, and make sure that fits into your overall income strategy. Taxes are another area where pre-retirees can stumble. Many assume that they will be in a lower bracket in retirement, and that's true for a lot of people, but it's not always the case, especially if most of your savings are in tax-deferred accounts like traditional IRAs or 401ks. Because once you hit around age 73, you'll be required to start taking required minimum distributions, RMDs, whether you need this money or not. And these distributions can help bump you up into higher tax brackets, which increase your Medicare premiums and even affects how much of your Social Security is taxed. So the smart move is to start thinking about your retirement tax strategies now. Roth conversions in your early retirement years could help you spread out that tax liability and give you more flexibility down the road. Remember, it's not just about what you earn or what you save, it's about what you keep. Now let's talk about investments. One of the biggest mistakes we see is sticking with the same investment strategy you used during your working years. The portfolio that helped you grow your wealth is not necessarily the one that will help you preserve it. Now, that does not mean you should move everything into cash or bonds, because being too conservative can expose you to inflation risk and longevity risk, or the risk of running out of money. But being too aggressive, that could leave you vulnerable to a market drop right when you start withdrawing your money. The right solution is to find the right balance. So this often includes shifting more towards income-focused or a more diversified approach where you still have growth potential, but with safeguards in place to reduce volatility. Now, here's one that does not show up in the spreadsheet, but it has a huge impact. Not preparing emotionally for retirement. Financially, you might be ready, but emotionally, that's often another story. Think about this. For decades, your identity has been tied to your work. Retirement can feel freeing, but it can also be disorienting. So we've worked with clients who have felt bored and unmotivated or even lost the first few years because they didn't have a plan for their time or purpose. So ask yourself, what does a fulfilling retirement look like to you? What's going to give your life meaning in retirement? Whether it's travel or hobbies, volunteering, spending time with grandkids, the key is to retire to something, not just from something. The best retirements are about more than money. They're about meaning. And lastly, one of the most common yet preventable mistakes is trying to go at it alone. Look, retirement is complex. You're juggling investments, taxes, healthcare, income planning, estate decisions, and making so many individual choices that affect the various other parts of your life. And even if you've done a great job managing your finances up to this point, this stage comes with a different set of rules. One wrong move can leave lasting consequences. So that's why working with a fiduciary advisor, someone who's legally obligated to act in your best interest, can be so valuable. It's not just about avoiding mistakes. It's about building a plan that aligns your money with your goals, lifestyle, and values. So the bottom line, 5 years before retirement are incredibly important, but also incredibly manageable with the right guidance. These aren't problems that you have to solve alone. So whether you're just starting to think about your retirement or you're already counting down the months, it's not too late to start making smart, proactive moves to give you clarity and confidence for the road ahead. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.